I don't care how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't care if I feel happy or sad. It doesn't really affect what I do each day. I do the exact same things. I act the exact same way. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't put weight to the significance of the emotion. So I always consider myself a happy person, but if I woke up and I was slightly less happy one day than another, it wouldn't affect anything I do, and I wouldn't put any relevance to it. I'm human, and that's life. Life is hard. Life is difficult. Maybe I've just been unlucky, which I don't believe in, but I've had so much trauma and bad events and negativity and stress and all these things that have happened to me. And I've used all of it to be monumentally successful. If I wasn't that way inclined, with the workload that God put on my shoulders, I'd just be in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
I would have killed myself by now. Like, I don't understand how people are functioning. If you're not thinking like me and you're going through life with any other mindset, you've been extremely fortunate that God smiled on you and allowed you to sit around most of the time doing jack shit, and you have yet to be punished for that.
Yeah.
I could never have lived that life. If I was a bit lazy or a bit, or I was a bit of a snake, or if I lied to people, I'd be dead by now.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of these people are just absolutely and utterly blessed by God that they managed to go through life with such a non-competitive mindset, and they're still breathing. Like, I don't understand how people can think any other way.
Yeah.
I've spoken to dudes and like, I had a bad couple months. Why? Oh, my girl left me. You've wasted months? You've wasted months over some... Like, you had think of how much God loves you to have given you the grace and given you the opportunity to waste months of human time over some chick. Like, talk about blessed head to toe. If I waste months, empires are going to collapse. I'm going to end up in a cell or dead if I waste months. I have things to do every single day. I can't waste a second. Like, these people are just absolutely infinitely blessed, and their mindset is a product of that, because they're spoiled children. Absolutely spoiled children. If you're going through life with any other mindset besides a hyper competitive one, where you are capable of competing with some of the most dangerous men on the planet in all their forms, me and my network, and also my competitors. If you don't have that mindset, then you have to understand that you are spoiled. Yeah. You're spoiled by your reality, because there's a whole bunch of people out here daily who fail. There are men out here who fail daily, and they have yet to feel the true consequence for it. They fail to go to the gym when they know they should have gone to the gym. They fail because they forgot their keys and it took them 10 minutes to find them. They fail because they replied to a question they got sent on WhatsApp the wrong way. They fail because they didn't smile when they were supposed to. They didn't say please and thank you to that person who helped them. They fail because they didn't say hi to that girl who's looking at them out the corner of their eye. They just fail perpetually. They go through life missing every opportunity and just failing. And somehow we've built a society which is so soft, and God is so giving and so graceful, that they still have a place to eat and somewhere to sleep, and they're still surviving. That shows how nice God is. Yeah. Because before this society, truthfully, if you were that level of failure, you would be dead.
Survival of the fittest.
It's survival of the fittest. And none of these men out here are fit. No. Their mindset isn't fit. Their reality isn't fit. They're failures. They're failures. Yeah. And they're just failing every single day. And they go, oh, but you know what? Tomorrow I'll go to the gym. Yeah. You've been failing your whole life. That's all you've done is fail. And then you sit and wonder why people like me absolutely and utterly outcompete you. It is so easy to become a top tier male in the world today because the competition is so ridiculously low. There are 2% killers like me, and everybody else is amateur, head to toe amateur. They can't even pay attention to anything. They can't try at anything. They're amateurs. And it's really mind blowing to me, because I've tried with all of my computational power to imagine having a mindset different to mine. And I just can't see a reality worth having. I can't see a reality worth living. I can't see how you're going to build a life worth experiencing if you have any other mindset. I can't see it. Yeah. I've never met somebody with a fantastic life who did not completely and utterly believe in themselves. I've never seen somebody massively succeed and they didn't believe in themselves, ever. I've never seen somebody who just allows life to happen to them and become blown off course by some sadness, end up doing massively monumental and important things. I've never seen it.
It's never happened.
It does, and it's never going to happen. If I'm unhappy with something and I'm uncomfortable with something, I fix it.
Yeah.
That's endless motivation, which I don't truly believe in as a concept, but that's endless fuel for the fire.
Right.
If I was unhappy with something about myself, regardless of what it was, I would be able to take all of that discomfort and turn it into endless energy to get the problem fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
But these people seem to
it's okay to be unhappy.
Yeah, well, these people seem to sit and say, I'm really unhappy with X, but then stay doing X. So I don't believe they're truly actually unhappy. What you'll notice if you live life long enough is that somebody will sit and say to you, I'm unhappy being a loser. You say, why are you a loser? I just sit at home and play video games 7 days a week. And you're like, okay. And maybe 3 days of the week, they're unhappy doing that. And that's the time they email you, and that's the time they want to make a change. But 4 days of the week, they don't really, it doesn't really bother them. It doesn't really bother them. Because if it bothered them 7 days a week, guess what?
They would fix it.
Correct. So I have very little sympathy for people. And that's not because I'm not a nice person, but it's because I've been so hard on myself, and I've been through so many things that were difficult, and I've been through so much pain and trauma myself, some of it self-inflicted, some of it given to me by God to make me a better person. But I've been so difficult on myself. It's very hard for me to look at somebody who's refused to be difficult on themselves and see them as my equal or feel sympathy or pity for them. Why would I feel pity for somebody who took the easy route when I took the hardest possible route? I took the hardest possible way to be the man I am, and you were too big of a and now you want me to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for these people. And because as a man, you can be anything you decide you want to be. That's the beauty of being a male. You can build your character completely from the ground up, just like a video game. Every single thing about me that people respect, I built. I was not born a world champion kickboxer. I was not born this intelligent or intellectual. I was not born this rich. I was not born this strong. I was not born this confident. I was not born this interesting. I was not born this charismatic and humble and gorgeous and tall and strong and sexy. I was not born none of these things. I became these things myself. So I deserve all the spoils of war. And anybody who decides they don't want to work hard enough to become those things, then they deserve to sit and accept they're my inferior. That's their problem.
So you talk a lot about purpose, and what is your thoughts as to, do you have like an exact answer as to why we are created as humans and why we are here? Like, what is the purpose of life? Why have we been given life?
I think we're here to struggle and to learn. I don't think we're here to be happy. That's why when we keep going back to the happy argument, I've always found that kind of frustrating and annoying. And someone goes, oh, but I want to be happy. Why? Why do you want to sit there and laugh like you were happy your entire childhood? That's your happy days. You're allowed to be happy as a kid. It's all over now, right? You're a man. You have responsibilities. I think we're here to do important. Provide, protect, and we're also here to do important things. And important things are going to be difficult, and they're going to be hard, and you're going to get frustrated. But that's what gives you purpose. I don't see anyone who's chasing happiness. I think that's a very feminine frame. I understand why some women just want to be happy. I don't know how it feels to be a girl, because I'm not one. But in my experience, I know women who just want to be happy. Girls just want to have fun. Fine. But you're a man, right? And if you're a man, then it's absolutely an utterly different experience of life. I think we're here to struggle. I think we're here to endure pain. I think we're here to just see how hard we are to kill. I think that going through terrible things and living through them and coming out the other side is one of the most fantastic things about being human. I think that it's almost like once you understand what life is really about, there's no emotion which isn't enjoyable. The only emotional state which can be seen as detrimental is feeling nothing at all. But if you're sitting at home and you're feeling truly heartbroken, at least you're feeling something, right? And I think that's the whole part of being human. I think we're here to struggle. I think we're here to go through pain.
And in a few years, you will see him driving the car you always wanted, living in the house you used to dream about, standing next to the women who wouldn't even look at you. And in that moment, when you see him standing where you should have been, the regret will be unbearable, and it will be too late. Because while you were waiting for motivation, while you were distracting yourself with mindless entertainment, he was moving. Without permission, without validation, without making a single sound. He grinded in silence, and now he owns everything that should have been yours. So I ask you, are you ready to change? Or are you going to keep waiting, keep hoping, keep watching other men win while you fade into nothing? Decide right now, before another second is wasted. I was once exactly where you are. Weak, broke, forgotten. I walked through life like a ghost. Unseen, unheard, unimportant. I had no power, no influence, no respect. People looked through me like I wasn't even there, and it made me sick. But I refused to stay that way. I trained until my body ached. I studied until my brain burned. I worked until I collapsed, only to wake up and do it again. And I did it all without a single word. While the weak begged for encouragement, I embraced the suffering alone. While others bragged about their half-measured efforts, I moved in complete silence. And now they have no choice but to notice me. But most of you will never experience that transformation. You will never know what it's like to walk into a room and command respect without speaking. You will never know what it feels like to see the same people who once ignored you now fear your presence. because you are too soft, too addicted to comfort, too busy pretending you're working on it while you waste your years on distractions. Do you even understand how pathetic that is? You sit there watching interviews of successful men, convincing yourself that learning is enough. It's not. You consume motivation like it's an addiction, but you never act. You pretend you're getting ready, but deep down, you know the truth. You are afraid of the work. You fear the grind. You fear the silence. You fear the loneliness of true discipline. And that fear is the reason you will never have power, because power is taken, not given, and it is taken in silence. The world doesn't reward those who talk about success. It rewards those who show up every day and execute without hesitation. It rewards those who grind so relentlessly, so brutally, that by the time people realize what's happening, it's already too late to stop them. Will you be one of them? Or will you stay exactly where you are, forgotten, invisible, weak? You are running out of time. You don't feel it yet, but you will. The years are slipping away. The seconds you waste now will haunt you forever. One day you will wake up, stare at yourself in the mirror and be disgusted. You will see the body you never built, the money you never earned, the strength you never developed. And by then it will be too late. This is not some motivational speech to make you feel good. This is a warning. Look at your life. Really look. What have you done? What have you built? Where is the proof of your effort? Because if you don't have an answer, then you are failing. And failure is not something that happens overnight. It's a slow, silent death. Every time you hit snooze, every time you delay action, every time you tell yourself tomorrow instead of now, you are digging your own grave. And while you are rotting in comfort, another man is out there taking everything that should have been yours. Right now, there is a man who wakes up at 4 a.m. without hesitation. A man who pushes himself past exhaustion, past pain, past every excuse you've ever made. A man who doesn't post about his efforts, who doesn't seek applause, who doesn't need validation, because he understands that results are the only proof that matters. And soon you will see him. You will see him drive past you in the car you always wanted. You will see him walk into a room commanding respect without saying a word. You will see him living in the house that could have been yours, standing beside the woman who wouldn't even look at you. And in that moment, when you realize that he was never more talented than you, never smarter than you, never luckier than you, just more relentless than you, the regret will be unbearable. And the worst part, you will know deep down that you let it happen. You had the time. You had the opportunity. You had everything you needed to win, but you chose to waste it. This is your last warning. Either wake up now, shut up and move, or stay weak, stay forgotten, and watch as another man lives the life that should have been yours. The choice is yours. But remember, time does not care. It will move forward with or without you. You are already behind. From the moment you wake up, you are already losing. Because while you are still debating whether to get up, whether to start, whether to try, another man has already won the day before it even started. And when you meet him, he will destroy you. Because life is not fair. It does not reward those who mean well. It does not care about your excuses. It only rewards those who show up, execute, and dominate. Right now, while you waste time, another man is becoming stronger, sharper, richer, more powerful. And when you finally decide to get serious, you will realize he is already too far ahead. He has already built the network, the wealth, the discipline, the mindset that you kept delaying. And you will be left behind, scrambling to catch up, but it will be too late. Because while you were busy looking for motivation, he was building his empire in silence. This is how winners move. They do not announce their goals. They do not seek validation. They do not ask for permission. They grind in silence, stacking wins, accumulating power until they are so untouchable that the world has no choice but to respect them. And that is what you must do. From this moment forward, you cut out every weak habit. No more mindless scrolling. No more one last episode. No more wasting time with people who add nothing to your life. You move with purpose. You grind without noise. You wake up before the sun. You build without distraction. You suffer without complaint. Because every sacrifice you make brings you closer to domination. And when the world finally sees what you have become, it will be too late for them to stop you. The question is, will you be the one who dominates, or the one left behind, watching another man take what should have been yours? Decide now, before another man makes the decision for you. Look at yourself. Are you proud, or do you see a man who has wasted his potential? Because here is the brutal reality. If you are not moving forward, you are dying. Every second you hesitate, every excuse you make, every time you allow weakness to dictate your actions, you are falling further behind. The world does not wait for the weak. It erases them. And right now, you are on the verge of being erased, because the men who rise to the top, the ones who own the cars, the houses, the businesses, the respect, the influence, They are not special. They are not superhuman. They simply refuse to be weak. They sacrificed comfort. They grinded in silence. They moved with discipline so ruthless that by the time the world realized what was happening, they were already too powerful to stop. And now they walk into any room and own it. But you blend into the background, unnoticed, unimportant, forgotten. And the worst part, it's your fault because you had the time. You had the ability. You had everything you needed to win, but you were too soft, too afraid, too busy watching life instead of taking control of it. This is your last chance. You either burn your old identity to the ground and rebuild yourself into a machine, or you stay exactly where you are, weak, invisible, and powerless. No more waiting, no more distractions, no more weakness. You move in silence. You grind when no one is watching. You build your empire while the world sleeps. Because when you finally step into the light, they will not recognize you. And by then, it will be too late for them to stop you. So what's it going to be? Will you be another nobody, forgotten in the sea of weak men? Or will you grind in silence until the world has no choice but to acknowledge your greatness? Decide, because time is running out. Look at your life. No more delusions, no more lies, no more pretending. Look at it. Are you where you want to be? Are you powerful? Are you wealthy? Do you walk into a room and command respect without saying a word? Or do people look right through you, just another average, forgettable man? Because if you are not winning, you are losing. There's no neutral ground, no in between. The world is at war, and every second you hesitate, another man is taking what should have been yours. Every time you delay, another man moves ahead of you. Every excuse you make, every moment you waste, every bit of weakness you tolerate within yourself, it all adds up. And when the day comes that you finally decide to take action, you will look around and realize you were too late.
Nobody, absolutely nobody, gives a fuck about you as much as you're going to have to give a fuck about yourself. Nobody cares about you as much as they need to care to fix your life. Even your parents, even your friends, even all the people who think they care about you, they care about you. Yeah, sure, there may be 2 or 3 people on the planet who genuinely care about you. But nobody is going to come to your bed, drag you out of bed, fucking drag you to a job, force you to work hard, go and get you a hot bitch and go and buy you a Ferrari. Nobody is going to do that for you. You are never going to have any of the things you want if you do not get them yourself. Nobody cares about you enough to do it for you. This is absolutely true.
All you had to do was work these last few years. Could be a millionaire. Could retire. You could save your mother from being coarsened in the labor market. You could prolong the life of your loved ones with medical care. You could literally keep your parents alive longer, and you still didn't try. You still couldn't be motivated. Extra years of consciousness for the people who birthed you is somehow not as important as jerking off on Pornhub, it seems, to fucking scumbag losers like you. Most of you are not actively building a future. You're not actively trying to build the dream life that you want to have. And then you expect it to just appear. Do you know why? Because when you were born in the middle, your parents put food in the fridge. It just appeared. The heating was just on because it was cold outside. We knew you never had that problem. That's why people at the bottom, we understand intricately. We understand this viscerally. We understand that nothing is going to come to us unless we go out there and get it ourselves. And once you have that, you have endless motivation for all things. That is extremely important.
I'm going to say that again. You have to believe you're a fucking man, and you have to believe you can achieve anything. I'm not saying you can achieve anything easily. I'm not saying it's not going to take a whole bunch of work. I'm not saying it's going to happen quickly. But you have to believe you can achieve anything.